Hello, namaskar and welcome to Express News with me Deepika, your window to quick news and updates from the country and the world. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched SWACHH Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 and AMRUT 2.0 designed to make all the cities garbage-free and water secure. Addressing the event, the Prime Minister said in the next phase of AMRUT, sewage and septic management would be improved and attempts would be made to make cities water secure. Speaking on SWACHH Bharat Mission Urban 2.0, the Prime Minister said that under this initiative, cities would be made garbage-free. The Prime Minister also invoked Dr. B.R. Ambedkar in his speech. He stated that Dr. B.R. Ambedkar considered urban development a way of removing inequality. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the journey of SWACHH Bharat and AMRUT fills every Indian with pride. The Prime Minister asserted that since 2014, the waste processing capacity in the country has also increased and we have to take it to 100%. Enumerating the benefits of National Automobile Scrappage Policy, the Prime Minister said that it would provide strength to waste to wealth mission and circular economy. Union Minister of Home Affairs Amit Shah has approved release by central government of second installment of Central Share of State Disaster Relief Fund. 7,274.40 crore rupees will be given in advance to 23 states. 5 states have already been released in advance the second installment amounting to 1,599.20 crore rupees. The Supreme Court slammed a farmers group which sought its permission for holding protest at Delhi's Jantar Mantar, asking what is the point in approaching the court if it plans to continue its protest by blocking roads and highways. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended greetings to President Ramnath Kovind on his birthday today. The Prime Minister said that due to his humble personality, the President has endeared himself to the entire nation. The newly appointed Chief of Air Staff said that his first priority is to ensure the safety of the nation through appropriate and correct use of air power. Chief of Air Staff Vivek Ram Chaudhary said that the air warriors have a lot of potential and can be better prepared for any future wars. A day after assuming charge as the Chief of Indian Air Force, Air Chief Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary today laid a wreath at the National War Memorial in Delhi. Congress's Punjab in charge Harish Rawat today questioned Captain Amarinder Singh's felt humiliated remark. Rawat said that the party had retained him as the Chief Minister for several years. How can that be humiliation? Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur, who also holds the Youth Affairs and Sports portfolio, launched a month-long Clean India program from Prayagraj this afternoon as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. This program will continue till the month end. In Jammu and Kashmir, Pulwama Police and Security Forces today apprehended one terrorist affiliated with the proscribed terror outfit LET, namely Shamim Sofi, son of Muhammad Sofi and resident of Niklura. Incriminating materials including arms and ammunition have been recovered from him. The deep depression in the Arabian Sea intensified into Cyclone Shaheen today morning, and it is further likely to intensify into a severe cyclonic storm, the Indian Meteorological Department said. The system is moving away from the Indian coast, the Cyclone Warning Division of the IMD said. The CBI has summoned Maharashtra Chief Secretary Sitaram Kunte and State DGP Sanjay Pandey in connection with the offence it has registered against NCP leader and former State Home Minister Anil DESHMUKH and its ongoing probe into the matter. After a gap of more than 5 months, the Delhi government has allowed the reopening of religious places for devotees from today. Easing of COVID-19 related guidelines comes just a week before the Navratri festival. Assam government has reopened national parks and the wildlife sanctuary in the state for tourists from today. These include KAZIRANGA National Park and Tiger Reserve. The 30-share Sensex on Friday dropped 361 points to end at 58,766. 50-share Nifty also tumbled 86 points to end at 17,532. The prices of gold fell by 58 rupees at the MCX to end at 46,265 rupees per 10 gram. Silver prices, on the other hand, were up by 111 rupees to end at 59,728 per kilogram. The Indian rupee rose 11 paise to close at 74.12 against US dollar provisionally. Global oil benchmark Brent crude futures fell 0.49% to USD 77.93 per barrel. Petroleum companies have increased the price of commercial LPG cylinders by 43 rupees per bottle. The price of 19-kilogram commercial cylinder in Delhi has been now increased to 1,736.50 rupees per bottle. The gross GST revenue collected in the month of September 2021 stood at 1,17,010 crore rupees, which is 23% higher than the GST revenues in the same month last year. For the month of September, CGST collections were 20,578 crore rupees. SGST collections stood at 26,767 crore rupees. IGST at 60,911 crore rupees. Cess of 8,754 crore rupees. The average monthly gross GST collection for the second quarter of the current fiscal year has been 1.15 lakh crore rupees, which is 5% higher than the average monthly collection of 1.10 lakh crore rupees in the first quarter of this financial year. In a significant achievement, India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed the 89 crore mark. This has been achieved through 86,46,674 sessions. More than 64,41,000 vaccine doses were administered on Thursday. India reported a total of 26,727 new cases on Thursday. India's active caseload stands at 2,75,224, which is the lowest in 196 days. Active cases account for 0.82% of total cases, lowest since March 2020. India reported a total of 28,246 recoveries in the last 24 hours. Over 3 crore 30 lakh and 43,000 people have recovered from COVID-19 in India. Recovery rate currently stands at 97.86%, highest since March 2020. Weekly positivity rate is at 1.70% and is less than 3% for last 98 days now. The daily positivity rate stands at 1.76%, which is less than 3% for last 32 days now. India has also ramped up its testing capacity. Around 57.04 crore total tests have been conducted so far. A total of 15,20,899 tests were conducted on Thursday. The world continues to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. So far, over 23 crore 46 lakh and 67,000 cases have been reported globally, while the recovery stands above 21 crore 14 lakh and 53,000. The deadly virus has so far claimed over 47 lakh and 99,000 lives globally. The United States remains to be the worst hit by the pandemic. The country has reported over 4 crore 42 lakh and 14,000 cases, while the death toll stands above 7 lakh and 16,000. Somalia's first public oxygen plant was opened on Thursday. The new plant in Mogadishu was purchased from Turkey by the Harmoud Salam Foundation. The foundation also paid to repair the COVID-19 wing it had set up at the hospital where it is installing the oxygen plant. World Health Organization and International Council of Nurses have said that many frontline health workers remain at risk in Africa, as only 15 of the continent's 54 nations have fully vaccinated 10% of their population against COVID-19. WHO and International Council of Nurses also call for speeding up distribution of doses to those at risk on the continent. The WHO had called for vaccinating at least 10% of health workers in every country by 30th of September, a target met by nearly 90% of high-income countries. The number of daily deaths from coronavirus in Russia reached 887 people on Friday, a new maximum since the beginning of the pandemic. Around 24,522 new cases of coronavirus were confirmed in the last 24 hours. Israel's health ministry has identified fewer than 10 cases of heart inflammation following a third dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine among millions administered, according to recently released data. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison on Friday announced an 18-month ban on Australians travelling abroad will be lifted from next month, easing one of the toughest COVID-19 restrictions imposed globally. YouTube will block all anti-vaccine content, moving beyond its ban on false information about COVID-19 vaccines to include material that contains misinformation about other approved vaccines. The expanded policy will apply to currently administered vaccines that are approved and confirmed to be safe and effective by local health authorities and the WHO. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby says in a briefing that China's aggressiveness and coercive nature in the resource-rich Indo-Pacific region is a frequent topic of discussion among the Quad nations. Pentagon also gives a glimpse of the current state of US-Pakistan ties, says US has been honest about its concerns with Pakistan for a long time about the terrorist safe havens along the borders of Afghanistan, and the concerns are still valid today. North Korea carries out of a new test fires anti-aircraft missile. This is North Korea's second known weapons test this week, after it launched a previously unseen hypersonic missile on Tuesday. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres recognizes the remarkable achievements and resilience of the Sudanese people and its transitional government since the overthrow of Omar al-Bashir in the year 2019. Says drafting of a constitution towards full elections should yield significant opportunities for further progress, argues for inclusion and meaningful participation of women. Ethiopia's government orders expulsion of 7 senior United Nations officials from the country for meddling in its internal affairs. Move comes as humanitarian workers sound alarm about limited access to the embattled Tigray region, which has been rocked by conflict for nearly 11 months now. Powerful winds and torrential rain hit parts of Japan as Typhoon Mindullе moves towards Tokyo. China's top state-owned energy companies have been ordered to ensure that there are adequate fuel supplies for the approaching winter at all costs, a report said, as the country battles a power crisis that threatens to hit growth in the world's number 2 economy. UN humanitarian coordinator in Myanmar, Andrew Kirkwood, has warned that the Asian nation's people are living in a severe crisis with a level of poverty not seen for at least 20 years. Kirkwood, in a virtual briefing on UN correspondents, said that the number of people in need of humanitarian assistance now is 3 million. That is a tripling over the last 8 months. A majority of the U.S. House of Representatives voted to approve a Senate-passed measure that avoids a partial government shutdown by funding federal agencies into the new fiscal year. U.S. President Joseph Biden signed legislation before the deadline to avoid a partial federal shutdown and keep the government funded through 3rd of December. In UK, gas stations were still dry after a chaotic week that saw panic buying, fights at the pumps, and drivers hoarding fuel and water bottles after an acute shortage of the truck drivers strained supply chains to breaking points. Footage taken by an ocean drone captured raging waves and wind from within the center of Category 4 Hurricane Sam. The solar-powered Celtron found itself battling 15-meter high waves and winds over 193 kilometers in the Atlantic Ocean to capture the footage. A new line of defense has been deployed to help Brazilian firefighters tackle blazes in the country's expansive Amazon region. Brazil government is in coordination with the Defense Ministry and fire brigades launched Painel de Fogo, or the fire panel. This new technology brings together satellite technology, meteorological information as well as expert tracking in the Amazon so that firefighters can better organize efforts to tame fires. Chilean authorities have declared a red alert in the Tiltil commune in the Santiago metropolitan region and evacuated residents due to a forest fire that started on 29th of September. The fire so far destroyed 100 hectares of forest and 12 houses. Tiltil Mayor Luis Valenzuela said the town is in constant danger of fires because of its location in the middle of the forest. The lava flow produced by the Cumba Vieja volcano continues to spread into the Atlantic Ocean. The landform stretches some 500 meters into the sea, producing a powerful chemical reaction that extends the island's coastline further to the west. Hawaii's Kilauea volcano, in its first eruption in nearly a year, was filling the crater at its summit with hot red lava and clouding the skies with volcanic smoke. The latest eruption of Hawaii's youngest and most active volcano began on 29th of September. Today is the 50th anniversary of the opening of Florida's Walt Disney World. To mark the occasion, there are new rides like Remy's Retula Adventure and a new light show, Harmonious. Celebrations of the anniversary will continue for 18 months. The resort was the brainchild of Walt Disney himself, but he died 4 years before the park opened. Boxing legend Muhammad Ali loved to draw between fights, and a rare collection of his sketches and paintings is going up for auction in New York City next week. The 24-piece collection reflects Ali's interest in religion and social justice, but there are also some that picture him in the ring. One of the paintings, called Sting Like a Bee, was made by Ali in the year 1978 during the filming of the historical miniseries Freedom Road, in which he starred. It is expected to fetch $40,000 to $60,000. His other works include America, The Big Chill from 1967 and War in America, which has a pre-sale estimate of $25,000 to $35,000 US. Musician and inventor Lee Paul's very first Gibson Les Paul guitar will be auctioned by his son Jean Paul at Christie's on 13th of October. The guitar is estimated between $1 lakh to $1,50,000, but is expected to break previous records for guitar sales. Jean said the creation of the guitar was the result of 30 years of work that began when Les was 12 years old. In 1952, Les signed off on the guitar that would later be named the Les Paul. Sotheby's online auction of media artist Refik Anadol's artificial intelligence art collection kicked off on Thursday. The collection includes an art piece which is set to become the first ever example of an immersive AI digital experience being converted into a non-fungible token. The collection, called Machine Hallucination Space Metaverse NFT collection, consists of 8 works featuring immersive experiences and artwork generated using AI. The whole collection is expected to fetch up to $1.95 million when the online auction heads to end on Monday. A rare moment of a crocodile attacking a drone was captured in a video at a national park in Australia's Darwin. The drone of Australian Broadcasting Corporation took the brunt of the bite force when a saltwater crocodile leapt up and plucked it from midair. An ancient breed of Irish goats has been deployed to protect the hills around one of Dublin's most affluent suburbs from coarse wildfires. Old Irish goats love to eat the highly flammable vegetation, and the local council hopes grazing by a herd of 25 will leave the North Dublin suburb of Howth Place prone to natural wildfires. Conservatives also hope the deployment will contribute to the survival of the small stocky goats whose descendants arrived in Ireland about 5,000 years ago during the Neolithic period. In South Korea, 5 cubs of Korean tiger, which are also known as Siberian tiger, were born back in June, have been disclosed to the public. The cubs were born back in June this year to the tigress named Jeonggon and a male tiger named Taho. About 2 weeks ago, the cubs saw the outside world for the first time and was shown to the public on Thursday. They weighed just 1 kilogram each at birth, but roughly 100 days later, the cubs are healthy and now weigh more than 10 kilograms. Leaving her homeland, Afghanistan, was painful. But to pursue her passion in a faraway safe land is definitely a blessing for 15-year-old Sarah, as she hopes to play soccer professionally and someday to meet her idol Cristiano Ronaldo. This is the story of young girls from the Afghanistan national soccer team who were recently granted asylum in Portugal. The players from Afghanistan's national female youth soccer squad fled their country in fear after the Taliban Islamist movement seized power in August. Afghanistan women's senior national team captain Muhtaj, who carried the mission, said that the reason was to ensure the girls can aspire and play the sport they love. Indian women's team opener Smriti Mandhana put on an exhibition of batting as she completed her maiden Test century during day 2 of the ongoing pink ball test in Australia in Queensland. India progressed to 276 for a loss of 5 in the second day's opening session of the day-night match against Australia. Teenage shooter Manu Bhaker put behind the disappointment of the Tokyo Olympics to win a gold medal in the 10-meter air pistol event at the ISSF Junior World Championships in Lima. India's Rudraksh Patil claimed the silver medal in the men's 10-meter air rifle competition. Veteran India men's hockey team striker SUNIL announces his international retirement, bringing the curtains down on a 14-year-long career during which he was a part of the 2014 Asian Games gold winning side. Earlier, Olympic bronze medalist and Indian team's hockey track flicker Rupinder Pal Singh has announced his retirement from international hockey with immediate effect. Harry Kane came off the bench to score a 20-minute hat-trick as Tottenham recorded their first Europa Conference League win with victory over NS Mura. FIFA President Gianni Infantino urged FIFA members to help guide them on decisions affecting the future of football in line with a vision to make the game truly global. Brazilian soccer legend Pelé left the hospital after several weeks. The hospital informed that he was stable and cleared in the morning to leave the hospital but would undergo chemotherapy following the removal of a colon tumor. Qatar's 10-year deal with Formula One will boost the balance sheet of a sport recovering from the hit of COVID-19 as well as further raising the profile of the Middle East in an increasingly global championship. The much-awaited film SHUTDOWN, starring Radhika Madan and Sunny Kaushal, has been released. The film is available on Disney+ Hotstar. Kriti Sanon and Kartik Aaryan will be seen next in Shehzada. The shooting will begin later this month. The lead actors are reuniting after their hit film Luka Chuppi. Much-awaited Telugu political drama Republic, starring Sai Tharamtej and Aishwarya Rajesh, is finally out in theatres. Scarlett Johansson and Disney have reached a settlement in their explosive Black Widow lawsuit, though details about the settlement have not been revealed. Focus Pictures has released the official trailer of Wolf starring George McKay and Lily Rose Depp. Depp stars as a woman who believes she has been trapped inside a human body while being a wildcat. Netflix has added a number of movies and web series to its list. The list includes China, the musical, The Guilty and Bad Teacher, among others. Television comedy Seinfeld's 9th season is now premiering globally on Netflix starting in October. Netflix bought the worldwide series to Seinfeld in 2019 in a deal that allowed the show to stream on Hulu until 2021. The hit Netflix series Squid Game from South Korea has gone viral across the world and online by morphing childhood games popular before the digital era, such as red light, green light, into deadly survival challenges. The horror series has become the first Korean drama to snatch the top spot on Netflix in the United States. A previously unheard Rolling Stones recording from 1979 got its first public outing on Thursday. The track titled Troubles Are Common was recorded by the veteran British band in Paris in the year 1979 and released for the first time 42 years later. Major international bands Coldplay and BTS have teamed up in the music video for their collaboration My Universe, released on Thursday. My Universe is the second single from Coldplay's latest album, Music of the Spheres. The album is due to be released on 15th of October. And that's all for now in Express News, but news continues here on DD India. Keep watching. Namaskar.
The changing world of news. Headlines that you wake up to. News that shapes your day. Stories that matter to you. The latest and most accurate updates.